Rational Redneck says, it's my 40th birthday today.
There you go. Happy birthday, brother. Hey, listen, according to all the stats, you're done. Nobody wants to date you anymore. But if you go out and you stay in shape, you're going to find none of that is true. Something I want to bring up because this is kind of a momentous moment for some people who are here watching. I'm going to bring up a weird analogy for those of you who watch American football. Back from like 54 to 59 in the 1950s, the New York Giants, their offensive coordinator was a guy named Vince Lombardi. I know you probably don't watch American football. Do you know what the Super Bowl trophy is named after? It's called the Lombardi Trophy. The defensive coordinator for that team was Tom Landry. He ended up going to 5 Super Bowls with the Dallas Cowboys. The reason why I bring that up is because the greatest offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator were both on the same team. And I've made this analogy several times that the original defensive coordinator was Rolo and the original offensive coordinator was Mystery. Mystery was, because when you think about any one of these ideas, go get the girl, right? Go, so it's pickup, cold approach, social circle, all these different manifestations, that's offense, right? But you and I 17 years ago were never discussing body count, prenups. These were never things we were discussing, right? Those were not, because in the pickup community, it was just all offense. It's like it was A1 to C3, right? That was the thing that was important. With Rolo, the different situation was, it wasn't much about pickup, but it was more about don't have this girl take all your money. Don't have this girl break your frame. Don't get into a situation where you're living with a girl at the wrong time or you're breaking your own boundaries. Because I've always seen this contrast in the media between red pill and pickup. And what I've always thought is pickup is the offense and red pill is the defense. And that's the two coincide like that. It's like two sides of the same coin. I rarely talk about prenups or 304s or body count when I'm talking to pickup guys, and I rarely talk about pulling threes when I'm talking to red pill guys. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like it's very like one side is very much all offense and the other side is defense. One of them is, hey, let's go figure out how to date the crazy stripper, and then the other one is don't stick your dick in crazy because then you end up owing her a bunch of money and get pregnant by the wrong person, right? Pickup is about getting a girl without using money, and then red pill is about having a girl not take all your money. Ladies, have you ever been public venue and a guy you don't want to talk to you is talking to you and you give eyes to someone to like come save you? Yeah. You have an example of that?
100%.
Zoe, what have you gotten that before? What's happened? Zoe, just bring it to you.
Well, I used to be a bikini barista as well, and we had the same situation there because it was like a drive-through bikini barista stand, 2 windows on either side, and big like landman, just like that. And so if there was a regular that pulled up that you didn't like, you give the eyes, and then suddenly the boss called and you have to go to the back. But the same thing happens in clubs, and that's how we figured out to do this at work, because all of my girls would go out to the clubs and get approached by people in the eyes are the easiest way to let them know.
You talk about it beforehand as like an offensive
coordinator. No, well, we know that like, oh, if this guy comes up, like I'm gonna look at you and that means, or like send the letter X, something like that.
So my favorite is when my female friends do this to me. There's like a creepy guy talking to them and they want me to come over and I walk right over and pretend to be gay. I'm like, no, you should you should definitely her 100%.
I feel like most guys know now. So like I've had several incidences where
I disagree, Shelly. I think rates of autism are outrageous now. I think men have no fucking clue what they're doing right now.
And I'm just like, this is my boyfriend, and they just play along with me. Yeah. Right? And they protect me from the weirdo guy that I'm trying to escape from.
I've definitely done that before. I think I have more guy friends than girlfriends. I hate drama. And so there's always guys watching out for me.
Okay.
I've even had a guy's girlfriend where I said, that's my boyfriend. The guy ran away, and then I looked at the guy's girlfriend. I'm like, oh my God, thank you. You know, and she's like, I saw exactly what you were doing.
Is it cold approach pickup easier when you're following behind creepy dudes?
Have I been in that situation? What you can do is a guy can go into a group of people and initiate the chat, and you can steal their buying temperature. They can raise the buying temperature of the group, and then you can come in and whisper in the guy's ear, "You taking good care of my girl?" And that blows him out. He's like, "Oh, sorry." And you say no, and you have him stick around as you then take over his set. It's possible to do that. Just saying.
Yeah. All is fair in love and war. That's
a good way
sneaky.
to,
nobody else want to pick up chicks with mystery? You don't. How often you get the proto pickup artist there? You don't want to go out? Please.
Good times.
Rational Redneck says, it's my 40th birthday today.
There you go. Happy birthday, brother. Hey, listen, according to all the stats, you're done. Nobody wants to date you anymore. But if you go out and you stay in shape, you're going to find none of that is true.
And I didn't expect...
There's enough room at the party for you two.
The natural state of mating for humans is mating with whomever is both nearby and alive. until either of those conditions.
That is not untrue.
That was the country video. You heard this,
right?
alive. and warm.
There's a point because of like famine and disease. I believe it's like 7,000 years ago. There was we can trace all of humanity to 6,000 breeding women. No, I'm sorry, that's wrong. It's 17 women for every man
One guy
who bred.
reproduced.
It was like 7,000 years ago. There's a point where we can look at X and Y chromosomes.
Yeah.
So basically, there were just nothing but surplus men. And then there's a point about 50,000 years ago where we can trace all of humanity's 6,000 breeding women.
Yeah.
Like we have these bottlenecks throughout our history, especially like I believe it was the 12th or 15th century, where the end of the century had fewer humans on the planet than the beginning because of bubonic plague. So survival, everything you do has to aid in survival. All these proclivities. I like ice cream because there's sugar. There's a lot of calories. My ancestors needed calories. I like women with a certain hip to waist ratio. Sure enough, that 0.7 hip to waist ratio is the most fertile ratio for women. That turns out to be fertile. And that's the one we happen to be the most attracted to. Signs of youth. Well, women who are younger are more likely to give us more children. That's the reason why we have that. And then women choosing men who can protect and provide for them. We find this in every single society.
And attraction is not a choice.
Yes.
It's a feeling. So all these logical reasons that you've just outlined is
like
built
genetic
into our
compatibility?
emotional circuitry.
Yeah.
I find that fascinating.
What you're talking about
Exactly.
is that's proximate outcome versus ultimate outcome. So proximate outcome is, man, she's got big tits. I really want to tap that ass, right? That's proximate. I want to get with her tonight. Ultimate outcome is we're gonna have kids together, and she's got big tits, and they'll feed our babies, kind of thing. That's the ultimate outcome is reproduction.
Ultimate outcome would be some girl with big.
Any girl with big tits.
I don't want
Yeah.
any of you ladies to get the wrong idea.
Yeah.
Some girl somewhere.
I really love this topic.